Kia ora koutou. Welcome to our first ever Bradley Lane Project Artist Interview online. On behalf of TGTB Charitable Trust, thank you for tuning in. My name is Gary Silipa and I founded Bradley Lane Project 8 years ago with my friends SQ1, Benjamin Work, Misery and Olivia Leita. Bradley Lane is the name of a once ordinary laneway in Glen Innes, Auckland. In 2013, we tried to create a festive atmosphere while painting 2 murals in it over a weekend in spring, with plans to return annually to paint more murals. We decided to call it Bradley Lane Project. Bradley Lane Project is now in its 8th consecutive year and is responsible for 30 murals currently on display in the Glen Innes Town Centre. Joining us today is our first artist to be interviewed, Sean Anoma. Sean Anoma is an artist who likes to explore different mediums, textures and structures through his paintings and mural design. With an honours degree in visual arts and a background in painting, graffiti and mural painting from a contemporary perspective, Sean's designs are bold and bright, focusing on how colour impacts on the viewer and inviting the audience to engage with the visual elements. Virtual paki paki for Sean Anoma. Welcome, bro.
Yeah, cool. So Sean Anoma, born and raised in Manirewa, South Auckland, for sure. For me, I have an honours degree in visual arts. I'm a graphic designer, mural painter, spray painter. And I do a lot of other stuff on clothes and stuff. So yeah, that's me. Also Samoan, New Zealand European. Yeah, it's got the Samoan necklace from when I got in Samoa. Here, well, that Sean Anoma came recently this year. I thought to mix and mingle with my first birth name and my fantasy sort of artist name. So it rolls off your tongue if you say it a bit fast. Sean Anoma. It's quite cool. So it came about like that. But the first actual word was anomaly, and my teacher described my work as an anomaly. So started when I was 5, really sketching at that time. Sketching comics, anime, everything that you could imagine, Dragon Ball Z, all of that stuff. And I found that I was really good at freehanding, and I would see Hulk and I would put Hulk into a piece of paper and blue ink pen. So then I started to formulate into going into really intricate designs with the body, functions. Started looking at that in intermediate, then going into high school, looked a bit more in depth into it, then got introduced into painting. Got mocked by my teacher for me not being able to paint and everyone else knowing how to paint. So that kind of boosted me to be like, nah, this is my style. It's quite rough and I still paint, but it's quite cleaner now. So that from that move and also getting a art award in high school, it was a youth art award for Tatui. So 5 artists, then you make a design, then they select it, put on the billboard. And so that prompted me to do more visual arts. And actually for uni, I was going into the workshops, but then I found that wasn't for me to sit on a computer 12 hours a day till midnight. And then I had a really good talk with my tutor from the anime course, and he said, do what you want. It's okay if you leave, but we're gonna miss you, and we don't want people to leave, but it is what it is. And then met some of my tutors in visual arts, and he said, I showed him my drawings and stuff, but for me, I was oblivious that my tutors are real abstract and they're going to show you all of this sort of stuff. So that was like my big introduction to visual arts and during uni, and it was probably the best thing I chose to go into. Firstly going into it was very scary. Going into uni, like it was such a cool feeling, like, wow, meet people, got our Islander boys, met the boys there who are, we're mainly friends for life now. We all worked together, but we were all quite scared, to be honest, and we didn't know what we were getting into. So just the writing and the explaining of your work and what your work means from when you make it to what your work actually means. That was a scary part. But in the end, after doing 3 years, graduating that 3 years, and then going back for an honours, and honours actually means, my tutor just broke it down, it's an honour for you to come back and do a fourth year. So I was like, oh, there's no other anything else? And he goes, no, it's that simple. And really in honours, I kind of complicated a lot of things where I could have made it simple. It built my confidence, but also it got me to know that the academic field wasn't for me at that time, maybe in the future, but I gained a lot of knowledge from that. First from TMD, he doesn't remember. I think I remember telling him in person that he'd done a workshop at our high school in Papakura, and I knew that him and Askew were like the big guns of graffiti and in New Zealand, and I was like, wow, this guy's amazing. And he just whipped up a dragon on a 2 meter by 2 meter board, and it was crazy. So I saw that, and he said, when you have a spray paint, it's just like a pencil. So I kept on putting that notion into even painting, into making it as a really pencil, the way I paint. And going into the outside part was really in and out of doing a bit of mainly contemporary work of my art practice and pushing it outside and what it looks like and what I want it to be, what I want that space to be is an art gallery on the outside as well as the inside. So I was pushing that narrative, and then mural painting came in a bit after that. No way vandalizing. It's I found spaces that were quite unique to myself, and these spaces that were abandoned in a way, but they were there, they were visible, but no one would use it, like a gate against a little sewage creek at the back of Mount Wellington, and those places like you can actually use because you're not going to vandalize it if you hang something up. So I utilize those places in terms of not vandalizing it, but making an art exhibition out of it, an installation. And man, some of those artworks have stayed up for 4 to 6 months at a time. One got taken away, but the other one is still there. I go back every now and then. So yeah, it's quite unique what you can take from contemporary world and chuck it outside and find a real cool space that no one actually sees, and it's still there. Yeah, a thing of what do I do now once I finish uni, and I didn't know what to do, and I was gravitating to murals and like, wow, I want to paint more walls and do stuff out in the community, but I really didn't know how to do that. Didn't know how to approach it. So for me, it took time, and over the years of gaining experiences from doing the community wars with TGTB Trust and all of that, that pushed me to do more. And I didn't realize that you can actually go out there and do it and just ask for a wall, get a bit of funding, and then push an artwork out into a wall. So it was actually not straight away for me. It was quite slow, and yeah, it was quite natural for me. But yeah, presenting something about what matters, and the Shopfront series literally had the words "what matters," but I thought it was a cool and crazy idea to just mash words like a sort of like a blob, but also get them warped around the wall, coming out the front, just covering that whole wall, and still utilizing the Pamuel background, because it was well known for the Pamuel sign that was in the roundabout, and that was ideal to keep that still format for Pamuel. But what matters, the words and the breakdown of that piece was what matters to an individual, family, culture, religion, your ties, everything matters. No matter what you have in your world, it matters. And don't forget that that was sort of like my idea behind that shot for interiors. Yeah, so the style just came about through a short-term glitch which happened on my computer. And I had a couple of designs on all at once, and then it, you know, when my computer holds too much design, it just glitched. And I went to open it and I pressed next, something told me to press next. And so I was capturing about all these different types of glitches. And so from there, I started painting some of them and capturing them, and then uh, cleaning them out, fixing them, making them prints. And then as of recently, December 2nd glitch happened, same thing. But now it was these overlays of color just going over this dark blue, turning into light blue and going back into dark blue. And then, you know, you had all these wonderful colors where I was like, now I'm going to capture it. You know, these are beautiful, and I had black background, and I like to work with black, but I, you know, all throughout my years, I didn't know how to merge black with bright colors. So now I'm actually designing these glitches myself, and I take them away. I've only got one or two now. So from one or two glitches, I've designed about probably 30 on my laptop myself. And now I just go out and paint it and explore through it. Oh, um, for me, I'm excited. You know, I'm ecstatic about being a part of it. So happy and grateful and humble about it. And yeah, I'm really excited to go hard on the 3 days. So, you know, and part of being Bradley Lane, of being the outdoor mural organizer, from 2017 up to 2019 last year, and you know, getting that experience all through those years and watching these artists paint and organizing, you know, all the background details, make sure every artist is, you know, are fed well, they have all the equipment, they have their wall stars, making sure the public is not annoying them, making sure the cars are away at all times. Yeah, being part of it has been a big growth for me, and watching everyone paint to now being the artist and being actually part of it, being able to paint a mural is awesome. So going from there, from that organizer to this, it's, yeah. First and foremost, I was always a learner, you know, watching it and getting experience from doing the murals that we've done, you know, and from watching these artists, you know, perform and put on, you know, these big murals and big artworks, beautiful artworks, and now being part of the artist lineup of putting a mural up and being confident. You know, it's went from being a learner to a gainer to a master for me, of a master of my style and my artwork and my artistry. Just being real confident back in myself and going, yep, this is my artwork, because I've seen all the artists saw it, and I'm like, now, yep, that's me too.